Hi, folks. This is the Road Dog here, and I have the great pleasure of interviewing, finally, after all these years. I got to meet her back in '95 there, but when she was really a superstar, and now she's a mega star.
We're still enjoying a good career, thanks to all the people out there, that's for sure.
This is great. Michelle Wright, right up there, legends. As far as I'm concerned, as the Road Dog, you're up there with Celine.
I'm a road dog too.
Are you?
I'm a road dog
Well,
too.
see, that's it. You know,
Yeah.
I saw the big bus out there. You have the big bus, not the small bus.
We do have the big bus, which is a nice way to travel, that's for sure.
It makes things comfortable on the road. My first tour years ago when I worked at Roadie, it was motels and sleeping in vans. And
Well, I did that for about 10 years
bet
too,
you did.
and so certainly I did that for a number of years. And quite frankly, for me, we just like to play, and so whatever it takes. If it's a tour bus tour, then we get on the tour bus. If it's airplanes, we get on the airplanes. If it's vans, we'll do the. I don't know.
You
I
won't
haven't
do the
had to
vans,
do
but
the
do-
vans
come
for
on.
a while, but
You've
but
been
I
doing this
probably would if that was the case.
since '88, right? Or did
Well,
you?
I actually went on the road in 1980.
80.
I started in the clubs in 1980, and then my first record came out in 1985, my first single,
Right.
and then the album came, I think, in about 87, and then I got my record deal out of Nashville in about 89. So
Right.
it was about a 10-year process to get to the record deal.
Looking through the history of you, it's 2 million albums to
Yes,
date,
yes.
and half of them sold here in Canada.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, I would not have survived without Canada.
Of
I
course.
just would not have.
Well, we like
Canada's continued to really support me, and in the face of all the ups and downs that a career has,
Oh.
they've been amazing to me.
We have 5 kids, and all 3 girls are somehow in around arts and music and entertainment. All their husbands are, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the easiest path to take, but I think if you're naive enough to go for it,
Persistent
then you
and
just
naive.
persistence and
naive.
naivety
Yeah,
is
or-
the key.
yeah.
Exactly.
I don't have enough sense to quit.
That's right.
But what a question I throw at you there from other people might think of is, what was the craziest job you ever had before you found success? I mean, you always hear about actors. Well, I waited on tables before my break came. Even Garth Brooks, he talked about some of the crazy things he had to do before he wanted to be a rock star and became a legendary country star.
Yes.
So.
Well, I've done, certainly waited tables throughout high school and college, and I sold Electrolux vacuum cleaners
yeah,
and Mary
Kirby's
Kay cosmetics, and we were farmers as well, and
Right.
so really I worked in the fields as a young
You had the rough
child.
hands.
Come from a strong farming community down in Merlin, Ontario, and so we hoed soybeans and picked tomatoes and cucumbers and potassium corn and plowed fields and did all the things that any of the farmers out there
Stepfather
that
was
has
from Leamingtons, and he
Yeah.
picked pickles and
Yeah,
tomatoes
we
too.
did all
so.
that. So I think it's really a good thing to have a really strong work ethic,
Yes.
because if you're going to have this kind of career, you don't just lounge around. It actually takes a strong team of people around you, and you also have to be somebody that is willing to work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the main trick: persistence, stubbornness, stupidity,
Yeah.
and
a good team around you
and working
hard work.
hard.
Yeah,
Just
that's it.
keep at it itself. One of the other things. Let's see here. 40 awards over the period of time. Amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like now, I didn't get. You've been nominated for Junos, or did you get a Juno?
A couple of Junos.
Couple Junos,
Yeah,
okay.
couple of Junos, female vocalist of the
Right.
year, which is
That's a
all of,
suicide one, isn't it? No, it's a new band
it's
one.
the new artist
New
one that
artist
can
one,
often be challenging.
I
Yeah,
have
it
a
seems like
few
once
friends-
you have get the new artist
I have a
award.
few personal
Well,
friends
I never
that got that.
I never got the new artist award in Canada, so it's just like we just kept soaring, and of course they hadn't had the success in America, and so it's been good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed them and hope to achieve some of those kinds of milestones, and happy that we did.
Canada seems to be right across Michelle Wright. In the States, it seems to be in pockets.
Well, yes, and I think like many artists of my generation, I've been around since the 90s, and so that's 20-some years ago, and I think that it's fair to say that if every generation has their time to
Sure,
rise
sure.
and to hopefully find your following, and then it's time for the new generation, and so I'm sort of actually and then now the next
Are you
generation.
getting to that
with
age where you're starting to question
I
about
just,
their behavior?
no, I mean, I totally get it. I tell you what, with me, I just get it. I understand that you're not going to be number one always,
Yeah.
and the key really is if you have a real passion for it and a love for it, and if you're good to fans and you show up and you do a professional job.
That's right.
Then I think that you know, and try to do good music and try to let the people know that it really does matter to you. That
Yeah.
you know, and I don't know, who knows why some of us have longer careers than others. I'm really thankful for it because
Yeah.
I think I love it more now than ever. I've relaxed into it. I have a good time and I just love to sing. And so
Right.
it's a good time right now.
Yes, well, it seems to be.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your schedule. So you're just finishing off from out west. You missed Manitoba.
Yeah, this time we didn't hit Manitoba. We started in British Columbia and just went across the country. And it all just depends. You know, we put a tour together and when there are venues available, it's sort of even almost out of our control.
Right.
The agents and the managers send the message out. You know, this year we've sent the message out that we're ready to do, we'd like to do the Christmas tour again next year. And so now they're just starting to see who's available. And so you route your tour based on what venues are
Right.
available. You know,
I am so glad to hear that you were coming here to the St Jacopes Playhouse.
beautiful,
I-
absolutely
it's,
gorgeous.
you know, we saw them build it, and it used to be like a furniture place here some time back, and then they rebuilt it and fixed it all up, and we came in to see a show last year, and when I heard you were going to be performed here, I said, what an awesome place to bring in a live show, you know.
Yeah, it's wonderful, it's beautiful, and we thank the audience for selling it out for us too.
They went
so
really quick too,
it
didn't they?
did.
Yeah.
And this is our last show of the tour, so
Yes.
that's a nice way to
Put
end
your
the
feet
tour.
up, and put some eggnog on, and
We get home on the 23rd, and I'm a bit of a compulsive house cleaner, so I'll get the house cleaned, and
then family and
the
food.
next day we'll
Yeah,
relax.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Well, okay. Another quick thing on that. One of the things that drives me crazy. I've been in this business since I used to work clubs back in the early '70s, setting up bands, and Ronnie Hawkins at Yield City Hall. I used to set up that stuff for him.
Ronnie.
And everything from Helix and all the great rock
Wow,
bands right through the time. And a lot of these people still stay in touch with the Road Dogg. For yourself, today we look at this new thing about not having to pay so much your dues in this business, and this drives me kind of crazy. Whether it's because I'm getting older in this world, but Canadian Idol. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Because there's so many kids, and I've got a young turning 18-year-old daughter who sings, but she's like, you know, with all her girlfriends, this is cool.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, my opinion, the Road Dogg, pay your dues, get out there just like you had to, and all the other musicians I know in this industry from throughout the United States and Canada. But your personal opinion, what do you think? Do you think it's? I hope it's not a set-up question.
Well, no, I mean, I think that in every generation it just changes. I mean,
Okay.
there was a day when, you know, when you talked to Loretta Lynn or Tammy Wynette and they were driving in a car from gig to gig, and then
Yeah, and cheap
next thing you
motel.
know, there's tour. I mean, I think every year things will change. And I mean, honestly, I'm not one of those that particularly thinks that you have to pay dues the same way in every generation, because no matter how you look at it, you're going to pay some dues.
Somewhere,
There's
whether at the beginning or the end, a lot of the
I mean,
musicians
even
say,
in, I mean, it's hard work and it's a lot of pressure, and I think sometimes it might even be harder for some of those young stars that become stars so quickly. I think they are. There's a price to pay on every level, and I really think that it just is what it is, and because unfortunately there's not an avenue for the young kids like there was for us, where you could go out and play clubs 6 nights a week and make
got
a
paid
living.
for- yeah, today
And
it's
I
not like
think
that.
on one hand it's you know, they're having to find a new way to create career, and
Right.
so I tell you, I don't spend much of my time sitting in that place of, well, when I was coming
Yeah,
up, it was
okay.
like this, and it should still be like that, because
well, it shouldn't still be like
yeah,
that. But
yeah.
I think the concern is that you've paid your dues. Okay, every carpenter has to get his slivers.
right,
You know, that thing. And I see the kids going on these shows, and I'm going to be famous.
Right.
And they get up there and they sing, and yeah, they're okay singers. And they get to a point in the contest, and they might win it. And then I've met these people 6 months after the contest, and they're back playing little tiny clubs trying to survive, and they're going broke.
It's tough, honey. It just is. is, isn't it? Yeah, and so, there's no easy road. There
Just
just
gotta
simply
hustle.
isn't. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
And your path will either lead you. There's no A plus B equaling C. There's no, well, if I surround myself with this record label and I put out this single, then I'm going to have success. I mean, if we knew how it's done, then every time an artist was
Yeah.
released or every time a single was released, it would be a success. So I think that there's no formula. But I do think that
Do
there's
your best.
I think there's an intangible thing that none of us can define, and some people will have that. And when you hear them sing, or you see them on stage, I think of Keith Urban for me. He's got that intangible thing that just you knew he was going to be a star when I'd see him playing in the clubs.
Right.
So
There's that magic that just comes
it's
from
just
that
an
person.
intangible
Right.
ingredients that like Simon Cowell calls it the X factor, and so if you have that,
He's making a lot of money
you
calling it the X
he's-
Factor.
Simon's got it going on, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah. Canadians.
Last question for you. What can you say to all those young ladies, young men out there listening to you, as I consider a huge success in Canadian music? What they can do to make themselves, to try to. I know we've gone through a lot of points, but just this is Michelle's chance to say, hey guys, this is I think what works other than being stubborn and.
Well, yeah, we certainly have touched on that throughout the interview about what I think it takes, and so. I mean, if you have a love for it and a passion for it, or you think you do, I mean, I think it, whether you know or not, where the path will lead you to, that you have to try. And I think it would be a shame to not give it a go if you have a desire for it. And you just go after it. And I mean, sometimes I will talk to people and they will say, I've been doing this for 15 years and there's been no open doors. Well, sometimes we have to pay attention then, because if you've been doing it for that long and there's been no open doors, then maybe it's not the career path
Go
for
left
you.
instead of right.
Maybe you're not supposed to be
Right.
on stage and being the singing star, or but if you are like I, kind of came up and it just seemed like this door opened. I thought, okay, I had no idea,
Right.
and then that door opened, and then 2 years later the next door opened, and then 6 months later something else happened, and
Right.
it just seemed like as I was going down this path, doors opened for me.
Springsteen was 10 years overnight success.
Yeah. Well, again,
See.
I was 10 years in the
See,
clubs too,
there you
so
go.
I think it's just you got to give it a go, and it will be what it will be. But like we were saying, work hard and try to find something about yourself that's a little unique, maybe.
Different.
Yeah, a little unique.
We already have a Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
Okay, so.
yeah.
But
Boy,
be yourself.
Speaking of being extraordinary, yeah, there's some who's extraordinary.
I want to do this myself someday. One of the big awards, the Road Dog is I'm going to get this big dog house made. I'm going to get all these slaves to carry my dog house with me inside it, instead of that's.
Yeah, it's good to have a goal. I like that.
Well, Michelle, I can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Okay, I know you're very busy.
I like your cane.
And that's
That's a doggy on there. There's a little doggy.
That's Sebastian.
I have 4 doggies.
Do you have? We have a gigantic black cat, and his name is Socrates.
Awesome.
And then we have Bella, which is this little sheepoo.
I have a Bella.
Do you have a Bella?
She's a miniature blue merle Australian Shepherd. Bella. Beautiful.
For all those people in
The
Australia,
Bellas, yeah.
there you go. I have
Yeah.
family in Australia, so.
I've been to Australia. It was great. Thank you.
And you're gonna go back again, right? Because there's a lot of friends there that like
I
it.
liked Australia. Anytime. I'm ready. It's good.
Thanks for joining us here at the Road Dog Show, and Michelle, it's always a pleasure
Thank you.
to, when I hear your name and Red Canada AM and all those other
Right,
things, and
yeah.
oh, there she is. So thank you for joining the Road Dog Show. And are you having always a tail wagging time?
Always. Pretty much, actually, yeah. Life is good.
Stick around. There'll be some clips of her, two of her new songs here on the show. Thanks again, folks.